Yes, sir. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Very nice to see you all. So I will be your class moderator starting today and hopefully Krishna willing till the end of the session. That is 18th chapter. So just to give you a brief, I know you all have already completed your intro class. But since I'm coming for the first time, I just thought, okay, my name is Radhika. So I've been with ISKCON Mangaluru for about a year and a half. So I will be teaching you, or rather we will learn together, our level 2. I was a youth teacher, so I'm not very sure if I had taught any of you all. So I was taking 18 days class, just the last month I didn't take. But prior to that, I was handling a lot of youth classes. So this is about me. So if you have any doubts, the chat will always be open. I don't mute. Normally doubts, we will take it at the end of the session so that the flow is not interrupted. So this will be like this. So we'll have weekly about 1 hour to 1.5 hours max. And we will have the session followed by a story. And chapter 2 and 18 are very long chapters. So that alone, we will have it for 2 days, right? So that's about it from my end. Is there any other doubts you all have? Hare Krishna.
No doubts, Mataji.
No doubts. Okay. The more the interactive, the more both of us will enjoy. Otherwise, it will become monotonous more than you all for me. Then I will start sleeping. So if you all want me to be awake, then you'll have to just keep talking to me through the class. That's fine. So it's not a classroom. So I'm not a teacher, and I've never been a teacher. So we will all really relish this journey. And thank you all so much for joining level 2. And it's really nice because the present day youth is very difficult, right? So very few of them are really interested. So we used to do a lot of science and spirituality kind of things to pull. And later we realized it was not required for people like you all because you all don't need this because you all already had the inclination to know. So let's anyway dive in. And before that, let me start with the prayer. After I tell the prayer, when I say Hare Krishna, I'll be very happy when I will not, all of you all can unmute and chant. Okay, so I'll start again. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Jnananjala Chalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadatikam. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopeshu Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpadarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shrivatsadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Come on, all of you all. I want to hear everyone. Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So the slokas I will do, but English, whenever it comes, I would want you all to participate and read. So whoever wants to read can raise your hand and you all can take turns among yourself. So you can just raise your digital hand and you can unmute and you can start the English. So before we start anything, I always say that we set the mood, right? So of course, we are going to read Bhagavad-Gita, of course. But before that, the mood today is the first chapter. Does anyone know the title of the first chapter?
Observing
Mataji.
Please go ahead.
Observing the arms on the battlefield of Kurukshetra.
Haribol, lovely. Okay, I think fully vibrant team. Yes. Okay.
Vishad Yog.
Sorry, Prabhu, I didn't hear.
Arjuna Vishada Yog.
Yes, very nice Sanskrit name. Yes. So what is the mood? So this is a war field, and we are going to be right there in the middle of the war field, right? So all of you all together go to the war field, so that by end of the class, I will ask your feeling about the entire war. So set your mind like how when we go for a 3D movie, they give a glass and all that, and you wear the glass so that you have the effect, right? And today, I think it's all the Dolby surround system where you can hear multi-dimensional. So like that, just, I don't have the system. I have only one PC. So mentally, you all just drive yourself onto your battlefield, right? So let's start. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So this is what it is. So this is about understanding Bhagavad-Gita in 18 days. So you will have a little more than 18 days. So this is based on the teachings of our former Acharya, and his name is A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. So our founder Acharya's name when he was a child. If you all know, you type in the chat, or you can tell me. Otherwise, you'll find this for me in the next class, right? So let's pay our obeisances to Shishi.
Mataji, you want that slide to come on the screen?
Can you see the slide? Or you
Only the first one we are able to see, Mataji.
Okay, sure. Let me just. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
thank you, Mataji.
Sure. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. And so just a quick, you all already have gone through this, but just a quick liner. Since Rath Yatra just went by, right? And still, I think a lot of things are going on. Does anyone know what Ekadasi is today?
Yes, Mataji, Shayan Ekadashi.
Not bad. Okay, Haribol. Very nice. Yeah. So I heard, and I've also been seeing that in Jagannath Puri, they are, fully decorated Jagannath, and they are taking him around, right? And the whole of last 2 weeks have only been Rath Yatra in various places. So why am I talking about Rath Yatra in the middle of Bhagavad-Gita class? It's because Prabhupada initially, when he was very small, actually did this Rath Yatra among his friends, like how we used to play with toys. I think if girls are there, I can relate more. We used to have these dummy cooking sets. Do you remember? Mom used to have a proper cooking set, and we used to have those dummy plastic or the steel. And it was, did you all also experience that, or?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, so that's something which is like eternal. Your grandmother would have experienced, your grandchild also will experience. So it's always been it's like a legacy. So like that, Prabhupada actually made his own Ratha, and he did this, Yatra, which is Rath Yatra, right, with Jagannath. So after that, this was during the British time. So we all are aware of what was happening, right? And his spiritual master, teacher, told him to go to US, right? Basically not US, but, abroad and preach Krishna consciousness. So all these places. And he was talking about India, freedom, battle, and the situation, what India was going through. So he said, let's talk about freedom for everyone, not just for India. And then he took that mission and he went there. And his name is Saraswati, right? So Holy Grace Saraswati Maharaj. And this is the ship. Does anyone know the name of the ship he went first? You don't have to know, but I can show you. See, this is what it is. Jaladuta. Right? So this is not a cruise, right? I'm sure many of you all would have gone or at least heard of the cruise. Now, I think there are lots of cruises, right? From Goa to wherever, I don't know the destination. A lot of cruises which operate from one place to another, one country to another. This is not that, this is a cargo ship. So you can imagine what kind of situation. And he went when he was 69 years old and he had 40 rupees in his pocket. With 40 rupees in our hand, I think we'll be very scared to even go to college or school, right? So with 40 rupees, he went abroad. On top of it, he had unfortunately 2 heart attacks in the ship. And the captain of the ship was suggesting if he should be rerouted to another island, but he decided to go on the mission. He just started just with the japa. He hardly had 2 volumes of book. Bhagavad-Gita, all of you all know, so I don't want to show Bhagavad-Gita, but this is Srimad Bhagavatam, right? So he just had, about 3 volumes of that and, Bhagavad-Gita, that's it. And he was just doing japa, just the chanting he was doing. And with that, he gathered the crowd. The number of ISKCON temples which he could create over 10 years is 108. And number of followers he had was over 10,000 followers, right? And I'm talking about strong, solid congregation followers. Just 1 second.
Unable to hear you, Mataji. Erna, it's only for me.
I didn't speak.
Oh, thanks.
So I just felt my cursor was jumping. So I was just trying to see what was happening.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah. So till now, any doubts for you all, or you all are clear?
Yes, ma'am. One doubt.
Yeah, sure, Venkatesh. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, where did he learn English? That time learning English in India was like very difficult, right? So going and surviving in a foreign country, language issues, and with 40 rupees, like how is that possible?
Exactly. So that's what makes a difference, right? That's exactly what makes a difference between exalted devotees like him and people like us. So one is he was a very good English scholar. So it is like not just learning English, he knew in and out of English. So he was like, it is like, see, if you even hear his lectures now, if you're talking about the accent or the vocabulary which he has, it is not as strong as what we are. Probably, I think most of you all, all this convent education, that accent he will not have. He will have a Bengali accent, but he is a scholar. So he has learned English in and out, right? So that is something which is very special about him. And he is an expert in that way. But I don't know, I'm not very sure if you have heard the lectures. His communication is clear. I only meant that his accent could be a little Bengalish. And, one thing is there. Only in India, people make fun of other person's English. So anywhere outside India, when you go abroad, trust me, it's like even if you speak in broken English, they are totally fine. But Prabhupada had very good command of English. He had so many languages. In fact, he knew Sanskrit so well. The Bhagavad-Gita as it is his translation in English. And Bhakti Saraswati Thakur, his spiritual master, had asked him to actually preach in English, right? Because for him, Bengali was his natural language. But then in spite of that, he told him to preach in English. So how did he go with 40 rupees? That we have to ask Prabhupada. See, this is what is the confidence which they have, right? Because see, for us, we always have this fear, because we always feel everything is about us, right? We have to take care of, yes, we have to, but they are so exalted that they strongly believe that Krishna will take care of everything. So sannyasis, for that matter, they go to a forest. What is one fear we all will have when we all go alone? We normally don't like to go alone. At least we want someone. Why we need someone is because we always feel that something happens to me, the other person will take care of me, or I will have a backup, right? But the concept of them are totally different. They actually travel with a complete confidence that wherever they go, Krishna will take care. The belief is so strong, right? The belief in Sanskrit is called Shraddha, is so strong that everything is favorable and Krishna does support. So that is how, he was able to do. For us, even trying to make 108 people in our entire life chant 16 rounds is going to be difficult. Forget about chant 16 rounds. Can we make 108 people take the japa and chant 1 round? Because why I'm telling you this is, when I've taught for youth 18 days, a lot of them used to register. Numbers is hundreds used to register. For the classes, only about 20% used to come. And advanced classes used to be just 1% of the total registration of level 1 only will come to advanced class. And that to those who sustain till the next end. Now see, intelligence, you're never short of intelligence, because youth is the most brilliant team, right? They can observe. But I'm just telling you, the way in which things go it goes in that level. So coming back to your question, Prabhupada, he try and listen to his lectures. They are very, 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 very interesting, right? And he did manage. He was there. In fact, not just there. He went to places like Russia where they never knew the language. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, you can
Yes,
see.
ma'am.
Yes, Mataji.
Can you see these books? He wrote about 60 books. And many books are available free of cost for you all to read in database.
Ma'am, one question on this. I had contacted even the ISKCON encyclopedia, the number which is there. But he said only the books which are there online, only those books are available. Actually, on the website, it's written that it might be Vishnu Puranas or Skand Purana. Everything has been written by him, but I'm not able to find those books anywhere. I tried it my best.
Okay. Can you just keep Mohandas Prabhu? Can you check which book he's talking about? Because Vishnu Puranas were not written by him, so I'm not very sure. But the books which are available online are the ones in Veda base, which I'll share. I think you all by now know how to go to the Veda base, but otherwise also I'll share. But I'll get back to you on specifics of which book you're talking about. Maybe you can.
Ma'am, Puranas, I was asking, like Vishnu Puran, Ganesh Puran, those he have not written. The
No,
Shiv
no.
Puran and all.
Vishnu Purana and Ganesh Puranas are not written, and neither do we intend to write those Purana. Brahma Samhita was also not written by us, but it was found by Chaitanya Prabhu. But I can show you where you can go and read that. But these Puranas, what you're talking specifically, are not a part of ISKCON, nor was it written by Prabhupada. But
Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samved, those are written.
Vyasa. Not Prabhupada, Vyasa. See, there are two different things. Vyasa is an incarnation of Krishna. He's the one who wrote not just Rig Veda, not just the four Vedas. He also wrote what's called the Srimad Bhagavatam. That is a book which I just showed you, right? So he's a writer, compiler, whatever you call, of Srimad Bhagavatam. I'm talking about the original Sanskrit version. So Prabhupada actually translated it. That is why Bhagavad-Gita, it's not that he wrote Bhagavad-Gita. Bhagavad-Gita was also written by Vyasa. He did the transliteration. So what as it is means literation, right? He has not added anything. He has translated whatever it is in a way in which we can understand. So he's given some examples and he's translated it as it is, right?
Yes, ma'am. Translated books of Rigvedas are not available of ISKCON.
No, we have not. He has not translated Rigvedas. Rigvedas are already.
You can get in Mayapur, I think so.
Rigveda translations are not available. They are not part of ISKCON. It's Vyasa's writing. We will have complete. What I will do is, after the class, I will take you through the Veda base as to what books are available. About 60 books are there. I will take you through that. We won't have all 60 over there, but at least quite a lot are there. So,
Okay.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that. So, Back to Godhead is a magazine which was also written. So, maybe 1 second. Let me just share sound. So you can see various places where he went.
Screen has not changed, Mataji.
You're not sharing?
No, Mataji.
Oh, that's just 1 second.
Yeah. Now it's okay.
Hear the audio?
Yeah, the audio is yet to come, but
Audio able to hear? Okay.
not yet. Yeah, audio is okay now.
Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Kauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine.
So you can imagine, right? 25 countries he visited, and that is, it's not an easy thing at all, right? So this is our Mangaluru deities. I'm sure you would have literally seen this every single day in ISKCON Mangaluru when you went through your 18 days. Let's pay our obeisances to Shishi Radha Govinda. This is our address, and we are building a temple. So details of the temple is in the website. So Bhagavad-Gita is an epic. I want someone to read this. Can someone read this? Hare Krishna.
Bhagavad-Gita is an epic scripture that has the answers to all our problems. It was considered a spiritual dictionary by Mahatma Gandhi, and it is a book of inspiration for many leaders across the planet. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you so much, Bhumika. And that's clear, very clear reading. So Bhagavad Gita actually has answers to all questions, right? So Gandhi, you all know. So those who meditate on Gita will derive fresh joy and new meanings from it every day. Gandhi, you all know, and we all know that how many challenges and problems he has gone through. And all he used to do is whenever he had a challenge, he used to read Bhagavad-Gita and he used to feel good. Details of that is there in another slide, but I just thought I'll do that. So does anyone know who is this person? Go back to your...
Albert Einstein.
Albert
Ah.
Einstein.
So it's like school days, right? So what did he say? He says specifically Bhagavad Gita. When I read the Bhagavad Gita and reflect about how God created this universe, everything else seems so superfluous. He's such an intelligent soul, but he spoke. Now, why discipline succession? This is a typical thing, right? I can take the book and I can read. A very common thing. Yes, we can read, but the fact is whether we'll understand A. B is why parampara? Why, anybody can tell. My neighbor can tell, yes, but this is going to be like your charger. If you don't have your wire and plug all connected, it's going to miss, right? Connection, and it's not going to serve the purpose. So Krishna had told before, but I'm just starting here in our parampara, which is called the Brahma Gaudiya Sampradaya, where Krishna tells to Brahma, Brahma tells to Narada, and it goes on like this. And Prabhupada is our Acharya, and from him only we are telling. So whatever I'm talking is again whatever our Acharya Prabhupada had told. In fact, how did he hear? He also heard, and finally it's from the same thing. Because nobody here really wants to know our own view, right? We want to know exactly what Krishna had told. That's exactly what we are speaking. So typically 18 days, we could not do anything. And that's why we are doing this slightly longer course where we'll be able to complete. Now coming to the facts, right? So we will have the interesting part starting now. So out of the 700 verses, you'll see Dhritarashtra spoke only one verse. That's the first verse. And Arjuna seems like, he spoke so much, but Arjuna spoke only 84. When I saw this, I was also pretty much shocked. In fact, I should have asked you to take a guess, but now I've shared this figure. Because the questions are always more striking, right? So Arjuna's question, 84, answers mostly, in fact, I would say largely all our doubts, right? Because whatever Arjuna spoke are nothing but our own reflection. Sanjaya's are more like appreciation about. So can anyone tell me what are the 5 things which are generally discussed in Bhagavad Gita?
Soul.
Yeah, that's right. One more.
Surrender to Sri Krishna.
So 2 answers you've given. So Ishvara. So Krishna is spoken. Anything else other than that? Soul is there, but if I show that, you will get the other answers. So that's why I'm not.
Do our duty by surrendering to Krishna.
So the 2 answers are right. One is Ishvara, that is Krishna. Another one is soul, which is Jiva. Next is Prakriti. Thanks. So Prakriti is nature, and that will connect your do your duty work, how we are connecting. And next is Kala. Kala is time.
Time.
Yeah. Karma. Whatever you told duty is now, that's what I said. Next it will connect. Karma. Right? So karma, of course, has multiple meanings, but we'll see through it. So this is what it is. Everything is eternal. Ishvara, Jiva, Prakriti, Kala, except karma. So why am I telling it's not eternal? You'll be telling, Hare, my karma is coming back to me this time. Isn't it eternal? It seems to be eternal, but it is not. So we're going to see. So karma alone can be removed from our life completely. So let's go ahead and see how we can do it. So Ishvara is what we are talking about. Prakriti is nature. And Prakriti, the moment we are born, we will have the modes taking over. Right? So we'll have the various modes. So can anyone tell me what are the 3 modes?
Rajas,
Sattva,
Tamas,
Rajas,
Sattvic.
Tamas.
Very nice. My job is very simple. I think you all know already everything. Yeah. So it's called mode of, in English,
Goodness, mode of passion, mode of ignorance.
super. So all 3 modes. So who's the boss of the mode?
Krishna.
Krishna is the boss of the super boss. So who's the immediate boss? Who controls the mode? Krishna.
Maya.
Sorry?
Maya.
Exactly. So Maya is the boss and Krishna is the super boss. So Jiva, right? So Jiva is us. So you'll be telling, Mataji, why along with us animals are there? But they are also Jiva, no? Because from the animals only we have come. And from us, from here, logically we should not go back to animal, but there's a large scope of going back to animal life too. So the most interesting thing is Kala. And what is Kala? Kala is Krishna's Sudarshan time. Chakra. That's also called Kala. That is Kala. Now karma. So can you all tell me what are the types of karma?
Bad and good.
You just say. Okay,
Akarma and karma.
Akarma.
very nice. Akarma. Another. Bad and good is also
Karma.
Vikarma. Okay, so what is Akarma? What is Vikarma?
Action in inaction and inaction in action.
Haribol, very nice, but too advanced for me. But very nice, correct. So in a simpler way. What is Vikarma? Can you hear me?
Vikarma is action in inaction. And
So means, is it good or bad, Vikarma?
that's inaction in action. Yeah, that's better. That's good one. And the another is the bad one.
Okay, so basically, karma is action. Okay, what you're supposed to do, pious activities, that's called karma. And Vikarma is actually bad. I think you got confused, but that's fine. So Vikarma is the bad karma, right? So what do you want to have? Good karma or bad karma?
Good karma, pious activities.
Okay, so if you do good karma, you will go to heaven. If you do bad karma, you will go to hell. So we all want good karma. This is what we feel at this point. But actually what we need is, we need to go beyond hell and heaven, which means we want to go to Goloka, right? So for that, we should not have good karma also, bad karma also. We need what's called akarma. So akarma is everything done for devotion. Is akarma. Example, you all are spending 1 hour here sitting along and we are learning Bhagavad-Gita. This will come under akarma, right? So anything for Krishna. And here he is eating. So if he eats like this, what happens is he will get the body of a pig. Why? Because that's more apt. It's not punishment. It's basically suiting, right? So when you go to Scotland, why do you, where are you all from largely? May I ask? I know India, but majority of y'all are from India. But which part of India? North, South?
Northeast India, ma'am. Assam.
Is it
Mumbai, ma'am.
I'm
Mumbai?
from
Is it
Hyderabad.
Hyderabad? Okay. Bhumika is Hyderabad, right? Okay.
Yes, Mother.
Okay. And how is it? Cold? Hot?
Yes, Mataji, too cold now.
So do you guys wear a sleeveless top and a shorts right now?
No,
Why?
it's too cold.
Exactly. So likewise, so if you eat items which are not suiting this body, naturally something, so to suit the climate, you're wearing something which is very thick, right? Though you are very comfortable to wear a shorts and a t-shirt, but you're forced to wear it because that's only going to make you feel more cozy. It's going to suit, right? Likewise, to eat everything, if you do a lot of vikarma, you get a body which is going to suit you, because our body does not support, right? I can't go and eat a piece of lion flesh and digest it. Likewise, this pig is something which can digest, its digestive power is multiple times that of ours. Likewise, if you're going to sleep for so many hours a day, then what happens? It's better to be a bear, because we cannot sleep for many hours. We can lie down for many hours, right? So that's the difference. And same way, if you see these two, if somebody is very sensually involved, then a dog is right, because a dog runs after so many people, so many female dogs are there. But all this, so if you do pious activity, you go to heaven. You do impious activity, we all know Naraka. And so don't want to go here also there. We want to go to Krishna Loka, right? Because we are Krishna conscious. We are not targeting good or bad. Therefore, we will go here. So now back to Bhagavad-Gita. What is the mood of Bhagavad-Gita? Arjuna's bewilderment and appearance of illusion must be understood as Krishna's arrangement. We should not think Arjuna is so intelligent and why is he so confused? No. It's because we are going to be confused. Krishna made Arjuna as our role model so that we'll be able to see him. If not for Arjuna's confusion and bewilderment, there would have been no necessity for Krishna to speak Bhagavad-Gita, to not just rescue him, but to rescue us also, right? Although Arjuna is the apparent first listener of Bhagavad-Gita, it is for the benefit. Krishna, okay. So here it starts off, right? So there are 5. So does anyone remember what are the 5 confusions Arjuna had?
Compassion.
Very nice.
His first confusion was why to kill his own brothers in the army, because that will create sin to him. And
very nice. Second sin, compassion, sin.
If there is no one who would see their victory or to enjoy their victory, for whom that they will get that
Enjoyment, correct. Third, very nice. So who will be there? Who will be the companion to enjoy? So basically, compassion. You all told sin, and you told no enjoyment. What is the fourth one and the fifth one?
He thought to just leave the battlefield, and he was confused. Confusion was to leave the battlefield, and why not to directly
So
surrender?
confused. So that is coming in the second chapter, indecisive. That is, he is not sure what to do, whether he should fight, not fight. So that's a very nice point, fifth point, but that is coming in the second chapter. So first chapter has one more point. Family tradition. He's worried, oh my God, if I'm going to kill everybody, then what will happen to my family tradition, right? So we are going to see how Krishna is going to answer in the second chapter, which is next week. But currently, what are we going to see is that he says, he's going there. I told we are all in the midst of the war field. He says, okay, drive the chariot, because you know who's the driver? Our two heroes are entering now. But do you know who the driver is? Who's riding the horse and who's sitting in the chariot?
Krishna is driving the chariot,
chariot.
and he Arjun was the accompanied.
Very nice. So Krishna is also called Dash because he's riding the chariot. It's also called
Parthasarthi.
Absolutely. So level 1, we will not learn much of the names and the significance, but level 2, we will speak that. So he's called Parthasarthi because he's the driver. So every journey begins with a single step. So let's begin the journey of this, right? Mahatmaya. Sarva Upanishad Gavo Dokta Gopalanandanaha Pato Vatsa Sudhir Bhokta Duktam Gitamritam Mahat. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? Please go ahead and read. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, please go.
All the Upanishads are like a cow, and the milker of the cow is Lord Sri Krishna, and the son of Nanda. Arjuna is the calf, and the beautiful nectar of the Gita is the milk, and the fortunate devotees of fine theistic intellect are the drinkers and the enjoyers of that milk. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Bol. So very nice, right? So we know Upanishads are like cow and Arjuna is the calf, relishing, and along with Arjuna, we will relish. So on to our first step for this war field. So this is just an introduction. As I said, it's a preparation of the war. So we are getting into the war. So we're all in the battlefield. Just remember, we are all there. We have taken all our families also and we have put them in the tent, but we are in the battlefield. So what happens in the preparation of the war? So this has 27 verses. The first verse starts off, we all know, with Dhritarashtra, right? And the preparation of the war is happening. We know what the signs of victory is, and Krishna has Bhakta Vatsala. So we'll cover all of this today. So this is what it is, and let's closely observe the reaction. Extreme left top, who's the person?
Dhritarashtra.
Absolutely. Down, bottom, right side down, bottom.
Duryodhana.
Yes, and middle, our hero.
Arjun.
Arjun, very nice. Right, so he's like so bewildered. He's already started. So Dhritarashtra, first verse, Hare Krishna. Dhritarashtra vacha dharma kshetre kurukshetre samaveta yutsavaha mamakaha pandavas chaiva kimakurvata sanjaya. This is the only verse Dhritarashtra speaks, and it has so much of meaning and so much of poison, venom. Right? He says Dharma Kshetra, Kurukshetra. So the place where they are fighting is called Dharma Kshetra, and it's called Kurukshetra as well. And it is said that the place is so pure that anything fought here, any war, is so divine because it's got so much of spiritual thing. And they had so many stories, like the Kuru dynasty was there. They had all done, the war was fought, a lot of pujas were done, a lot of yagnas were done. So anything they feel that this particular field itself is going to be field in our favor. Right? So it's going to favor the righteous person. So obviously we all know Pandavas are righteous. So that is the starting point. Samavedanta Yutsavaha. I'm going to show you that in the next thing. And Mamaka Pandava Cheva. See, normally how will your dad, does any of your dads have a brother?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, so your cousins, right? So your dad's brother's kids come to your house.
Yes, Mataji.
How does your dad treat them?
With lot of compassion.
Right? So he will treat them, in fact, better than you all. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, because I used to be very angry when my mom's brother's daughter used to come. She was much older than me, but I used to feel so angry and jealous because I always remember my mom used to call me by that name. So I used to feel so angry when I was small, thinking that, and I still sometimes feel angry. I keep telling, why are you waking me with her name? And she used to take care of her, right? Because so much of the time the sibling's child is given a higher level. And that to imagine, this is in the current Kali Yuga. And those time, the father and they used to be in a joint family. And in this case, exceptional because Pandu was not there. So technically, Dhritarashtra is not just the father, but the godfather. But still, he differentiated. So that is what is this word. Mamaka Pandavache. So technically, all are same family. So if you are having a particular initial, right? Because I carry initial, I'm sure some of you all have the habit of initial. Not habit, I mean your culture of initial, and your father's brothers kids also have the same initial, yes or no? If you're having the family name, I mean, not the initial father's name.
Yes,
Your
Mataji.
family name. Anybody having family name? Let me search the name. I think this and all will be family name, right? Arojit Saha, Jyotika Singh, all that is family name, right? See, I got one more. Ridisha, Sabarbal, all of them have the same thing. Sharma, all of them are the family names, right? So we normally carry the same family name. Whereas here you see he's differentiating. He calls his sons as Kuru and he calls Pandava's children as Pandus, right? Pandus' children as Pandavas. So what is it? The place is so pure like milk. But in spite of that, Mamaka Pandava is differentiating my sons and Pandavas, right? And that's how he's doing. Kim Akurvaga. It's a very beautiful thing. Kim means what? Akuruga, what they are doing. Okay, now I always remember the restroom. Have you all experienced, the most worst moment which I've always experienced, that when you're in the restroom, somebody in the house knocks, either your dad or your mom knocks and asks, what are you doing? Have you all experienced this? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
ma'am.
Right, so what you'll do, you will not be going there and studying. Definitely we don't do that. Right, same way in the warfield, what would someone do? They'll be fighting, right? So he's so confused because he's scared if they are going to go and surrender or compromise, which he didn't want. So this is what is happening. So the second verse, now Sanjaya said, oh king, Anna, come on, you all read. Fast, you all read. We'll finish.
दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यम् उपसंगम्य राजा वचनाब्रवीत्. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Sanjaya said, can you see the screen?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, please read the English one. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Nicely, very nicely chanted. Thank you. Yeah. Can one of you all read this? Sanjaya said.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, please.
O king, after looking over the army arranged in the military formation by the sons of Pandu, King Duryodhana went to his teacher and spoke the following words.
Yes. Before you go for an exam or something, you take, what do you tell? Do you pick a fight with the elders or do you sarcastically comment or you take their blessings? What do you normally do?
Take blessings.
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 You should take blessings.
Even if you don't like the elderly person, even then it's okay. Even if you have a fight the previous night, don't want, I'm going for the exam. Yes or not? It's a very natural feeling. Now we have our special Duryodhan. Let's see what he does. Duryodhan is, can anyone guess who he is?
He is Duryodhan. The sitting
And
is Dronacharya.
talking to?
Dronacharya.
Very nice. Dronacharya. So he's asking, oh my teacher, behold the great army of the sons of Pandu. So he's appreciating Pandu and he is telling, by your excellent son Drupada. Does anyone know the story of Drupada?
Yes, Mataji. Drupada and Dronacharya has some conflict. And
Yes.
to kill Dronacharya, Drupada makes a yajna and gets a son called Drishtadyumna.
Very
Yes,
nice.
Mataji.
So who's the twin born along with Drishtadyumna?
Draupadi.
Draupadi.
Haribol, absolutely. So do you all know what is the fight between them?
I don't know.
Or half the kingdom.
Because of status.
Sorry?
Because of status.
No, that is there, but what is the actual fight?
When Drupad and Dronacharya was teaching on means Guru Bhai, they used to be means same in a same colleague or student of a same teacher, and they used to whenever in a small age that Drupada gave a promise that he will give a half
Right.
this Rajya to Drupada means to Dronacharya for that. I
Perfect.
think so.
No, correct. So so Dronacharya goes back and claims, not really even claiming, even before he could ask, he later insults him. He says that you have come to me and I don't want to befriend you, right? And Dronacharya feels terribly insulted. He considers him as a friend, but then what happens is he trains the 100 Kurus and the Arjuna, all of them, I mean Pandus, and he sends everyone, and finally he wins the battle. But he just wants to, but he doesn't take the kingdom. He gives it back to him. But still, Drupada is feeling so insulted. See, unlike these days, right? Here, Acha, you're my enemy. I will keep grudge on you and I will take you. That villain dialogue and all is not there. It's all straightforward. So on his face, he says that, okay, I'm going to have a son and he will take revenge. And where did he send the son to? Does anyone know who trained Drupada's son, Dushtadyumna?
Dronacharya himself.
Exactly. That's a comedy. Now he has to go and send. So Dronacharya knew that this boy is going to kill him and he taught him the martial arts. Can you see the greatness of the teachers and greatness of the acharyas? Then they know that this guy's sword is going to be taking our life. In spite of that, can you relate, right? In spite of that, he could teach. So he feels that, boss, you already taught, now he's your student. And because of that, only the whole thing is happening. And why is this coming is because Drupada's son, Dushtadyumna, is the military commander, right? He's the commander-in-chief of Pandavas. So he is trying to tell that all this brilliance is because of what you give. Very sarcastic. He's a great politician. Look at his face. Today, if Duryodhan is there, no political leader can even come close to him. He's super in that. So Duryodhana describing warriors. So please go ahead and start reading the English one. Verse 1.4. Hare Krishna. Just the English is fine.
Here in this army are many heroic, what is that? Okay. Bowmen equal in fighting to Bhima and Arjuna. Great fighters like Yuyudhana, Virata and Drupada. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. He's telling that in this army there are a lot of other fighters, right? Like Bhima. Why is he put Bhima's name? Is he the Bhima and Arjuna? But why is Bhima highlighted first?
Because Duryodhana had special grudges with Bhima.
Not only grudges, fear also.
Yes.
First thing what comes to our mind is not only grudge, even fear. So he is scared because Bhima is one guy who can actually beat him. And Duryodhana's name, more warriors, right? He's just giving the names of more warriors in 1.5. And 1.6, Duryodhana is again continuing. So he's talking about more names here, right? So I'm just taking you all quickly through the 4. And what happens now in 1.7, he will now describe about his warriors. So far he's been talking, promoting the enemy people, and then he thinks, oh my God, Krishna, I'm promoting the opposite side. Now I need to give some promotion to my people also. No? So he says that, oh Brahmana, let me tell you about our side. So he's telling that our side is no less, right? We have, who are we having? We are having personalities like you. See, first he's giving importance to him. This is politics, right? Did you observe? He says people like you. He doesn't say, technically Bhishma is number 1, right? But he says you. He knows very well if he puts Bhishma's name, he will be politically affected. Karna, Kripa, Ashwathama. Does anyone know who's Ashwathama?
Son of Dronacharya.
Vikarna?
Is a brother of Duryodhana.
Haribol, I didn't expect this. Everybody will get fumbled at Vikarna, but there's a beautiful story of Vikarna. I will share it, if not today, next class. So, and okay, so all of them, the whole team are there. So he's just trying to tell that. Hare Krishna in 1.9. Anye cha bahava sura madarte takta ji. This is a very important word. Takta jivitaha nana shastra praharanaha sarve yuga visaradaha. Hare Krishna, yeah, English. Yeah, please go ahead and read.
There are many other heroes who are prepared to lay down their lives for my sake. All of them are well equipped with different kinds of weapons and all are experienced in military science.
Hare Krishna. So Takta Jivata itself is saying very clearly at the beginning itself, everybody is willing to die for me. So normally, when you go on any good mission, you don't talk negative, right? At least now the trend is we all tend to talk negative, but those days, they really mean. So Takta Jivata means he's saying that, he didn't say that everybody are willing to fight. He says that people are ready to die for me. So indirectly, he's already started feeling that they will die. So he's not having the confidence at all. And Duryodhana's comparative assessment and final conclusion is, he's saying, he's now trying to equate. He says, we are also very powerful. We are having Bhishma, grandfather, and he is no less. Whereas but we have to protect him, because now he wants to promote the soldiers, because soldiers will think, Hare, only main people are there, Karna, what are we? So he's telling that Bhishma, we have to protect. 1.10, Hare Krishna says, Aparyaptam, immeasurable or insufficiently protected by Bhishma. So he's saying that we have to protect Bhishma, even because he's become old and we need that. And Pandavas are protected by Bhima. See, look at this. Our side, we have Bhishma. He is so strong. And Bhishma is pretty useless, right? Because compared to Bhishma, where is Bhima? And he is, as I said, always envious of him. And Duryodhana appeals to the warriors. So this is what I was saying. So promote only the great people, then the other warriors will feel low. So he's going back and telling, hey, don't worry, that all these people, right, whomever you're talking about, Bhishma, all of them, they are extraordinarily powerful, but still they are very old. So you need to support them. So he's trying to give importance to the warriors. So 1.12 is Hare Krishna. Somebody was chanting, right? You want to chant? And one can read and one can chant. Please go ahead.
Ma'am, may I?
Yeah, please go ahead, dear.
Tasya sanjanayan harshan guru vruddha pitamaha simhanadam vinadyau chai shankham dadmau pratapavan.
Amazing. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Somebody else would like to read the English part?
Me, Mataji.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Then Bhishma, the great valiant, grandsire of the Kuru dynasty, the grandfather of the fighters, blew his conch shell very loudly, making a sound like the roar of a lion, giving Duryodhana joy. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So the sound vibration is very, very important, right? So Bhishma is like really making a noise so that, he feels very good. Now, sound vibration, you will tell, how does it matter? So there, do you know, during freedom fight, there are some people who fought the freedom, but there are some poets who used to just sing. Are you aware? I know Bharatiyar in South. I'm not very familiar with names in the North. But why are they so powerful and why are they called freedom fighters? Because with just that song, they could really motivate a lot of people and make them rebellious, right? So sound has a lot of point. And here, that is what he's trying to tell. We will see this more effectively when Krishna blows his conch shell. So coming back, so 1.12 is a continuation of that and everybody blowing their conch shells and starting off. Yeah, 1.14, Shloka, Hare Krishna.
Tatashvetairhayairyukte mahate syandane sthitau madhavah pandavaschaiva divyau shankhau pradadmatuhu.
Hare Krishna, so beautifully you are chanting. Where are you learning? I should learn from you.
I'm learning from Gita Parivar.
Very nice. Hare Bol. So Sanko, right? So that means Divya. Divya Sanko. Sanko means conch shell and Divya means very transcendental. So he's talking about that. Yes, Bhumi.
On other side, both Lord Krishna and Arjuna stationed on a great chariot drawn by white horse sounded their transcendental conch shell.
So now we are in the battlefield. I already told, now only our two heroes, superhero and hero, are entering. And Arjuna, and can you see the sight? Just feel it. Arjuna is in the chariot. Krishna is riding the chariot with lovely horses, white horses, trying to draw the chariot. So these are the various names. And Krishna's conch shell is called Panchajanya. Does anyone know the name of Arjuna's conch shell?
Devadatta.
Devadatta.
Devadatta. Very nice. Bhimas.
Poundra.
Poundra.
Okay, it's Poundra. Yudhishthira, most of them will know. Ananta Vijaya. Nakulas and Sakulas.
Sughosh and Manipushpak.
Very nice. Haribol. Right. So these are the conchal names which are coming up. Now, there are specific names I told you, right? So Krishna has been given so many names, and so is Arjuna. So what are the names mean? Krishna by itself means all. Yeah, you can read. You can read the names so that.
Krishna, all attractive. Rishikesh, master of the senses or owner of senses. Madhav, husband of the goddess of fortune. Achyut, infallible one. Madhusudan, killer of demon named Madhu. Govinda, one who gives pleasure to the senses or cows. Vasudev, son of Vasudev. Devaki Nandan, son of Devaki. Yashoda Nandan, son of Yashoda. Partha Sarathi, charioteer of Parth. Arjuna, Keshav, killer of demon Keshi. Janardana, maintainer of all living entities or killer of all living entities. Dhananjay, Arjuna, conqueror of wealth. Parth, son of Pritha or Kunti Devi. Gudakesh, one who conquers sleep. Vrikodar, Bhima, voracious eater and perform Herculean tasks.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Now, I would like to highlight Dhananjay because that's one thing which you'll be wondering, what is this conqueror of wealth? Just like how we collect taxes, Arjuna, whenever the yagnas are done, especially Rajashurya yagna, needs a lot of money. So he used to go around to various kingdom and collect. So that is why he was called that. And the rest of the names of Krishna is familiar, but these names Arjuna will use in a specific context. So that time I'll tell you the purpose of it. Hare Krishna. 1.19 Kana. Go ahead.
सघोषोधार्तराष्ट्राणां हृदयानि व्यदारयत् नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव तुमुलो व्यनुनादयन्.
The blowing of these different conch shells became uproarious and thus vibrating both in the sky and on the earth. It shattered the hearts of the sons of Dhritarashtra. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, Hridaya Vyadarayat means that shatters the hearts. By whose heart it shatters? So, when Arjuna's chariot, when Bhishma blew the conch shell, or the whole team on Duryodhana's side, when they blew, no effect was there. But the moment the conch shell of our Krishna, right, Panchajanya was blown, it really shattered the hearts of the enemies. Why? I just told you. Sound vibration has power. So the very sound itself, they technically defeated. So the defeat of the opposite side started right here. And who is this, this Mahapower hero on the top of the, on the flag?
Hanuman.
So what does Hanuman signify? Can anyone tell me?
Victory.
Yes, why is it victory? Why should we call Hanuman as victory?
Because he was along with Rama during the war.
Absolutely. Amazing. Haribol. True. So he was already accompanied by Rama, and that time it was victorious. And now, even though he is a silent spectator, he is victory because there's no difference between Rama and Krishna. So there are so many reasons. So 1.20. Yeah, go ahead and chant.
अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः.
Complete that also.
ऋषिकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते.
Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. So Kapitvaja is where we saw our Hanuman flag marked with Hanuman, right? So automatically it is powerful. So Arjuna's flag also, these are significance which we already discussed. Krishna is present as Rishikesha. Now what is happening is, why is he Madhava? Because when goddess of fortune is there, it's luck. And imagine husband of goddess of fortune is there. So husband, always Lakshmi stays with Krishna. So if he is there, Krishna is there, Lakshmi is also there, and obviously it's all good fortune. And Krishna's victory is assured. Now I'm going to ask you all, what are all the signs of victory? We discussed a few. So you can add some more. What do you think are the other signs of victory?
Krishna was there to direct.
Yes, Krishna is there.
Yeah, the land Kurukshetra.
Amazing. Land Kurukshetra.
Their positive attitude.
Positive attitude, though, that's right. But how do we word it? Let's see how we can put that positive attitude. Let me park that for a second. Other than that,
Kapidhwaj, the emblem of Hanuman on the flag of Arjuna's chariot.
very nice. Yes, Kapitwaja. Next.
Dharma was sure to win.
Absolutely, Dharma was sure to win. It was Ekadasi. Very nice, Prajesh. Thank you so much. It was Ekadasi on that day. So that was one more reason. Prajesh, are you our admin, ex-admin, currently medical college student, Prajesh, or are you somebody else? Is it the same Prajesh?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yes, Mataji.
Oh, congratulations, Hari Bol. Wow. Very nice to see you. So you're not a guest, no? You're one of the students.
Yes, Mataji.
Very nice, yeah. So you kept your word. You said after you join college, you're going to come back. So welcome.
Hare Krishna.
Very nice to have you. Hare Krishna. So, yeah, correct. So that's also right. So Ekadasi. So significance of Ekadasi, that day was Moksha Ekadasi and all of them were fasting. And so that is one more reason. Besides that, any other reasons?
And Shri Krishna himself was with Arjuna.
Amazing. Sri Krishna himself is there. So where Krishna is there, victory is there. What
Arjuna had got some divine weapons from
exactly.
just before the war.
From?
He had went to Swargalok to get it, and one was from Indra. He had got weapon.
Yeah, so
And
basically,
he brought a Pashuphat Astra from God
very
Shiva.
nice. Yes, Pashupata from Lord Shiva and his bow. What is his bow called?
Gandiva.
Absolutely, Gandiva. Exactly, Gandiva is his bow. So there, just one reason you'll have left. One reason you didn't tell now, which we've already discussed, but one reason we have not discussed at all. What is the speciality of the chariot? Besides the fact Krishna is riding it.
Until Krishna steps below, it won't get affected.
No, but what is the speciality of the chariot? That is not about this.
It can travel in any direction.
Exactly, it can travel in any direction. How?
It was gifted by Indra.
Exactly. So it was gifted by that by alone we will fill, but otherwise the chariot can go in all directions. It is very special and all that. So we covered everything. Krishna personally present, goddess of fortune. Venu is Kurukshetra, Hanuman and the flag, symbol of Vishnu, conch shell. That's what I said. We already discussed, but you all didn't tell me here is conch shell, right? That conch shell itself was very powerful. So when they blew, and Agni Dev gave actually. It's not Arjuna. So that's why, sorry, not Indra, it's Agni Dev. Agni Dev gave the chariot. Yeah. So, but otherwise it's perfect. So, and the conch shells were having so much of significance. Now Arjuna requests Krishna to draw the chariot in the midst of the battlefield. Why does he ask to draw the chariot? Why should he draw the chariot?
He wanted to
who is standing against him. To see who is standing against him, who is going to fight against him.
Exactly. He knows Duryodhana is a culprit and he wants to know how many culprits are there. Right? So you always make an assessment. And Arjuna requests Lord to do this. And let's see what he says. Yeah, go ahead, Kana. Hare Krishna.
Arjuna uvacha senayorubhayormadhye ratyam sthapayamechyuta yavadetan niriksheham yodhukamanavasthitan kairmaya saha yodhavyam asmin ranasamudyame.
Hare Krishna. So here he says he wants to see who all come to fight. And and he wants to really see who are all these people. And Krishna, he does this, right? He's Rishikesha. He really is a controller of senses and he understands the feelings, right? So he does that. So birds of a feather flock together. So he wants to see, who are all the bad set of people, who are supporting him. Because if somebody is supporting Duryodhana, then you can imagine what quality that person will have. The second thing is the relationship between Krishna and Arjuna, and not just Krishna and Arjuna, between Krishna and any devotee is so sweet and transcendental, right? He's telling, take the vehicle in the midst of the armies, and he's doing that. Those days they used to wear pointed slipper, not the pointed heel. I'm talking about the, it used to be pointed, right? The shoe. Currently, I think that's a fashion back in. Anybody knows why is pointed shoe worn those days? Very long pointed heel used to be worn. Pointed, not heel. I'm sorry, pointed shoe.
It doesn't stuck in the soil in the battlefield.
Yeah, that could be a reason. I don't know that reason, but there's one more specific reason.
To guide the chariot, no.
How?
Mataji. Like the chariot distance will be too far from the person who's
You're close, but how?
like they on the shoulder, like shoulder.
Absolutely. How did you know? Because for me, when I heard this first time, I didn't know it.
In 18 days class, I heard.
Oh, acha. Who took 18 days class for you?
Janaki Mataji.
Oh, Janaki. Okay. So the speciality of that is the shoe by itself had the talent that what happened is normally, we don't have Bluetooth and all, right? One side, this side, one side. We don't have that. So you can't shout. It's so loud. So what they used to do is with the foot, they used to just tap, not kick, just tap the shoulder. So based on that, he used to take the direction. So imagine, that means literally Arjuna. I'm not telling Arjuna did, but I'm just saying that's the only way of communication. And second thing is chariot driver is not just chariot driver. It's a complete package, right? Taking care of the horses, feeding the horses, really taking care. Everything Krishna was ready to do. So that was the speciality. Yes. Hare Krishna. Moving on to 1.24.
Sanjaya uvacha eva mukto ऋषिकेशो गुडाकेशेन भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम्. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Sanjaya said, O descendant of Bharata, having thus been addressed by Arjuna, Lord Krishna drew up the fine chariot in the midst of the armies of both parties. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Look at the Bhava. See, he is riding, and here Sanjaya is relishing. Wow. This is happening. He is on the enemy's side, but still he is relishing. So what is important? Most of the time we think, what can I do? I'm on this side. Doesn't matter. You can be on the opposite side and yet be favorable to the Lord, right? So this is so beautifully, you can see the body language of Sanjaya and the language of Sanjaya also. So Rishikesha, we all know control of senses. So does anyone know Gudakesha, meaning of Gudakesha?
One who
The
conquered the
over sleep.
Conqueror of darkness or conqueror of
sleep means ignorance.
Yes. It's a conqueror of sleep, which also means that, ignorance is also one more meaning. And he used to be awake the whole, he can even fight in the night. Arjuna was specialized in that. He can conquer sleep. He can go continuously, overnight he could fight. Not like one night movie, one night exam, he will be awake. No, he can keep himself that way for a very long period. Hare Krishna. 1.25.
भीष्म द्रोण प्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महेक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरूनिति. Hare Krishna.
In the presence of Bhishma, Drona, and all the other chieftains of the world, the Lord said, Just behold Partha, all the Kurus assembled here. Hare Krishna.
So entire Kurus have got themselves assembled there. So that is the speciality. Rishikesha is a very beautiful verse where he says, behold. Why? Because he knows that Arjuna is going to start thinking and he knows how the mind is working, which happens not just with Arjuna, even for us. Have you ever experienced many times when you're doing something, there is an inner voice which tells us don't do it?
Yes, Mother.
Yeah, especially during time. We always are very tempted that the book is there and we are working and writing exam from home. Let me just open the book for a second. That time the inner voice says, forget it, you prepared, confidently write, yes or no?
Yes, Mother.
Thank you so much, so honest. So that's the inner voice. It's because it can really understand. Krishna can talk, but the point is we don't want to hear. Just like how Arjuna never wanted to hear. So why is he telling Partha? Because anybody knows why is he called Partha?
Because he is the son of Pritha, which is also
another name of Kunti.
Perfect, very nice. Pritha, another name of Kunti, and he is telling this here because he wants to bring the lineage. He's telling, hey, you're not just an ordinary roadside fellow. You're the son of Pritha, and they're all Kshatriyas, so you have to fight. Indirectly he's bringing that. And Arjuna sees both sides, and this end of story. That's it. He sees all of them: teacher, father, grandfather, well-wisher, and all of them. And 1.27, when Arjuna sees all of them, friends, relatives, he gets compassionate and he stops. So this is what it is, the first session. So, so now the confusion starts. So we finished half the journey. I said, no, the first session has 27 verses. Balance 28 to 46, we will cover. That won't take long. So Arjuna's doubts and lamentation now starts, right? So all these behavior, quivering, drying up and all, is also a symbol of ecstasy. When you have a lot of bhakti, right? If you're in that hardcore love level, you'll do. But here we know Arjuna's is only because of tension, right? One more thing which we all face. When does it queer? It doesn't queer out of bhakti. It only queers when we are stressed, right? So this is an example. So all this is, I told you, right? Ecstasy, or it is fear. Second one is something which we all experience. Ecstasy is something someday we will experience, right? So 130 is saying that I'm not able to stand. I'm so misfortunate and killer of KC demon. Now he is calling from Krishna. His name has become killer of KC devil, demon. Why? Because he's indirectly telling Krishna, for you it's very easy. You went and killed all the demons only. For me, I have to go and kill my mama, dada, dadi. It's difficult, right? Going and fighting an enemy is so easy, but going and fighting your friend is so difficult. Have you experienced it? Yes or no?
Yes, Mother.
Yes.
Why so everything has a meaning. So when he says, oh Krishna, killer of KC demon, he's not promoting, he's telling, oh Krishna, you kill KC demon. It's like he's really picking a fight. Now, second thing is, he's saying there's no enjoyment at all. Right? My dear Krishna, I don't see anything. And by killing the people, I don't see any enjoyment. So that's what he says in 1.32. 3.1. And 3.2, he says that he is not ready to fight even for 3 worlds. He says, even if I forget earth, forget my kingdom, even if I'm getting all 3 lokas. So what are the 3 lokas?
Svargaloka, Bhuloka, and
Martalok and Patalok.
Excellent. So all the lokas, up, down, middle and lower planetary system. And then Arjuna's worried, oh my God, if I kill, I will incur sin. Because I'm going to kill, not just kill, but I'm going to kill my own family kingsmen. Right? And this is what Arjuna feels. But there are 6 agresses where the Shastra says, see, Shastra is not about feeling. Shastra is about proof, right? I may feel that I am angry with someone. I'm like, for example, Pradesh, I'm taking your name. So now I feel that I'm very angry with Pradesh. According to me, I'm okay that I can take a scale and hit him. But is that the rule? I feel it's right, but I can't feel. I have to know whether it's right? So where do I refer? It's the Shastra. So now whether what Arjuna is doing, whether it's sinful, new answer. What Arjuna is doing, killing them, is it sinful? Yes or no?
No, because it is his dharma, Kshatriya dharma.
Yeah, and not only Kshatriya dharma, there is something called 6 aggressors. Now it's a new thing for you all to learn. Do you all know 6 aggressors? Otherwise I can show.
No, Mataji.
Kam, Krodh, Lobh,
No, not that. Shastra says you can kill a person provided the person has given poison. Now we all know that Bhishma was given poison. Who sets the house on fire? Someone who sets your house on fire. We all know that they were put in a firehouse.
Lakshagriha.
Exactly. What is it called?
Lakshagriha.
Yes. So I'm hearing, I'm also not familiar with that name, but thank you so much for that. So, right. So it's made of that luck, right? So it can really catch fire. Now, third one is attack with deadly weapons. Always they've done that. One who plunders riches, that's what they've done. They've stolen. Occupy his land. That only they've done. They've occupied their land. And kidnaps other wife. Yes, literally, right? Because Draupadi was really treated very badly in public, right? She was like unrobed. So when she was disrobed, so which is as good as kidnapping the wife. So they can be punished. There is no sinful reaction. This is what it says. And these people, any one itself, they can be punished. These people did all 6. 37, 38 is, so technically after that, he's now worried. Oh my God, if I kill all of them, seniors will be gone. And who's going to take care of my family? Entire family is gone. So my family is completely destroyed. So I won't know what to do. So with that family, if the seniors in the family are gone, the family tradition will go. Now you will ask, oh my God, what, Mataji? I don't believe in family tradition. Can I tell you all of you are very concerned about family tradition. And I can tell you how. Have you all experienced? I'll tell you, I'll go back. This is a story which I don't forget. My dad always used to come, and I've never understood till date. He used to tell, my friends are coming home, okay? Get well dressed. Till today, I don't know the definition of that well dressed because I always feel I'm dressed reasonably okay in the house. Obviously, I can't wear a jean and a full shirt in the house, right? So we are in one of our casual sets. Do you all experience, or is it like only my dad is like that?
No, it's
Yes,
common.
ma'am. We have also experienced it.
Right? And we hate it. I feel like telling her, I'm not wearing my swimsuit. I'm reasonably well dressed. What is it? And yet we will go and change and come. Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, wear something, wear a coat, wear a jacket, or whatever you call it. Wear a wrap skirt, or boys, shift from shorts to a capri or pant. Or is it only for the girls? Boys are very silent. Maybe they have no restriction now. See, all boys are very silent. Okay, we will catch them shortly. So, all this happens. So we are actually concerned about family tradition, even though we don't understand. Until today, I have not understood. But still we do that, right? So same fear he has. He says that the elders are gone, then our family tradition is gone for a toss. What will we do, right? Who's going to take care of the family? Now tell me one thing. Which book does your mom refer to when she does a puja? Any puja. Which book does she refer? Not for reading the shloka. For doing the process of puja. You have to get up in the morning, light a lamp. Which book does she refer? Why so silent?
I'm not remembering the name.
I'll tell you, most of the time your mother will be referring to your grandmother's book only. What your grandmother did, that only is coming via parampara. Very rarely they will refer a book. Have you all experienced?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, most of the time. So the parampara goes off, he's worried, who's going to teach? And for Kshatriya, you should never tell no to a war or for gambling. Now that rule is not, now Kshatriya itself is not there, that's different. But I'm just saying. So destruction of dynasty is so worried, right? Therefore, all this is going to come. He says that, oh, my elders are gone. So therefore, what will happen? Religion will come. And the small girls will not have anybody to guide. And they will, people will exploit the women. And therefore, Varnashram, see, extreme level. Oh, entire family. And because of that, what will happen? Nobody to do Pitru Puja. Why should Pitru means for the dead? And why? Because the Pitru has to get another body, right? For if they are born, they need to be getting another body. If nobody does puja and if they have done sins, who's going to, their sins will be there in the account. So if we do puja, their sins get washed, Vishnu will get pleased and he will give another body. So young members will do that, right? So this is what is going to happen. Finally, finished, right? Women get degraded means full family, dynasty, varna, everything will go. So this is what is his worry. So unwanted population will come and these are the various steps. Degradation of society is 6th level. It is explained from 39 to 42. Same thing in different thing. And finally he's saying, oh, I've heard, the family tradition, whoever has destroyed, finally, they will always go in hell and they will suffer. And therefore he says that we are doing a great sin. See how he's convincing. Sinful reaction. Killing our own kinsmen is very sinful, so we cannot do. So it is better to die than to kill. At 1.46, he says, after saying that, he keeps his bow and arrow and starts crying. Can you believe somebody like Kshatriya, they have been shot in spite of they losing an arm, eye, hand, they won't cry. They never cry. But Arjuna, nothing has happened. He started crying. Is Arjuna scared? Is he a timid guy? Is he like one of those 5-year-old boys who cry?
No.
No.
He's worried.
Why is he crying?
He's directionless.
He's directionless and he's also very compassionate, right? So he's tough. So you already said the 4. Arjuna is going to count. These are the issues and 4 only came. The 5th one will come only in 2nd chapter, which we'll see next week. And this is Arjuna's close-up face. Look at his face. He's like, eyes, tears are dropping. Which one do you relate to? So we saw the 5 things. A very interesting question. Which one do you relate to? So for me, I can relate to indecision. So whenever I am put in a corner, I get confused. I don't know what to decide. Not deciding is also another risk, right? What do you relate to? Do you relate to, the previous slide we saw? Compassion, enjoyment, sin, dynasty, family tradition, indecision, what is close to your heart? If you are, because we are all in battlefield.
Same Mataji, indecision.
Yes, all of you all. I want everybody to answer, the full team here.
Family tradition loss.
Family tradition. Anybody else? Any other view? Come on, all of you here. So many of you. Each of you should have one of the view, no?
Compassion.
Yeah.
Sin Mataji.
Sin, very nice. So mixture. See? Yeah. So we can relate to all of this. Now tell me, end of the first chapter, what do you feel? There is attendance, please mark. End of the first chapter, what is your feeling? How do you feel?
Lot of doubt.
Like a big thing has come and fallen on the head.
Yeah. That heavy feeling. And what is your opinion?
Overthinking.
Over?
Overthinking.
Overthinking. Okay. Different. Okay. Overthinking. Other than that, any other feeling? Anyone feels he's a useless fellow? I have to ask, anyone feels that Arjuna is not the right guy for Krishna to preach? Do you feel anybody else could be better than Krishna?
No, not at all.
No,
Because
ma'am.
anybody has, I mean, you don't have to agree to her. You can tell your view. Anybody else has a different, you feel any other person better than Arjuna?
No.
Anybody, all of you universally agree with her, or anybody feels that there could be a better guy?
It's Arjuna only, Mataji.
Arjuna so convinced. Okay. Okay. So I'll come back as to why Arjuna. I know you all are convinced, but still, I will. So, okay, so you all have already chosen this. So quickly a summary of this. So Dhritarashtra differentiates himself, his kids, and he doesn't want to compromise. We saw that. And, that is what we see. And the council made a difference. Duryodhana's council and his team had no impact, whereas Krishna and his entire team's council really almost defeated half the battlefield. And Arjuna observes the battlefield, and Gandhiva is slipping down, and he says, Ubayor Madhye. So you go and drive there, and because of this, Arjuna is confused, and he gives a 4+1 reason not to fight. So with this, we come to an end of Bhagavad-Gita chapter 1. And do you all have any doubts? Otherwise, I will tell you a story.
Now I have some doubts.
Yes, please go ahead. And I have to tell a story. You all can also tell a story. So whichever you all want to tell, you all can. First, we'll clear the doubt. Hare Krishna.
Okay, ma'am. The first doubt is regarding Sanjay. Okay, in the first sloka which you said, like he was having Divya Drishti, because of which he was able to see everything that's happening in the battlefield, and so he was narrating it to Datrash. But the question is, ma'am, in the 10th or 11th chapter, even Arjuna can't see the divine form of Sri Krishna. He needs special divine eyes, for seeing the Vishwarupa. How can Sanjay see that Rupa? He didn't get the blessing from Sri Krishna to see it. Then how was he able to see
Very
that?
beautiful question. Because he's got the blessings from Vyasa, and Vyasa is also incarnation of Krishna. So Vyasa blessing, like Rama blessing and Krishna blessing is same, right? Like that, Vyasa blessing and Krishna blessing is also same. So right now he got the Divya Drishti through Vyasa, and through that only he sees this also and Vishnu Rupa also. Because Vyasa is also Krishna's incarnation, right? And Vyasa also is able to see, and that's how you got the entire story of Bhagavad Gita.
Okay, ma'am. Next question is about, ma'am. Yeah, he was Duryodhan was taking big names like Arjuna, Bhima, like of other warriors, but he didn't take the name of Sri Krishna. Why that thing?
Because Sri Krishna, according to him, is useless. No, he's only a driver. Will you ever tell?
Unarmed.
No, according to him, I'm telling the situation, because he has taken the he'll only be riding the chariot, and he will be only. In fact, he has told he will not take a weapon, so he's not bothered. Tell me, he only took the names of the big people. Did he take the name of a driver?
Got it. Okay, ma'am. So, okay, we can understand that. Okay, Duryodhan was useless, so he could not see the real truth. But why can't Dronacharya see it? He can see it, right? Bhishma can see it, right?
Yeah, he
Why
can.
did they guide Duryodhan to the reality?
So Dronacharya saw the real truth. Who told that Dronacharya never saw the real truth?
So when Duryodhan went to him and spoke about other warriors, why didn't he tell him about Sri Krishna at least at that time?
He didn't want to tell because Sri Krishna's point everybody knew. No, see, even a dog or a cat or an animal will know about Sri Krishna. So Dronacharya never spoke because he's seeing this fellow is such an idiot. No? So he's not going to even listen to. See, if he had to respect Dronacharya, he would have respected Dronacharya when Dronacharya had an objection for see, there are so many times Dronacharya didn't like. He never bothered. He only used Dronacharya. He never respected Dronacharya. And Dronacharya had taken a promise that he will, no matter what, support him. So that's the issue here. So your point is correct. Did Dronacharya see the truth? Yes, he did. But did he work on it? No, he didn't. Right? But is Dronacharya a devotee of Krishna? Yes, he is. He's a hardcore devotee. So he never doubted him. Because that is why you will see in Bhishma's prayer. Let me just take you. Can you see the screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Just one second. Okay, so meanwhile, I also told you all I will do this double work. So I told you all I will show you the various books. So these are all the books which are there in Veda base, and the link is already updated. If not, it will be updated. Mohandas Prabhu, is the link of Veda base updated in settings? Otherwise, can you update? So if you see the first canto.
We are not able to see the one, Mataji. Yeah.
This is a Veda base. This is where all the books are. And you can talk about passing away Bhishma Pitama in the first canto, 9th chapter. If you see the kind of prayers he offers, see in the 10th verse, you see Lord Sri Krishna is situated in everybody's heart. He's worship him duly. It's everywhere. Tears of ecstasy. He's just appreciating Lord Krishna everywhere. In my opinion, this is also due to inevitable time. Everywhere Krishna is there. Can you see? Oh, King, no one can know the plan of Lord Sri Krishna. So he is like hardcore devotee. That is why, imagine, you think it is possible. Krishna has come and he's standing right before Bhishma. So you won't get that. Nobody can get that kind of death, right? He's just coming there and standing over there. And Bhishma himself was one of the Vasus. See, everywhere is appreciation, interaction, everything is about that. So why I'm telling you is these are the prayers which he offered. Okay, I also told you I'll show you the books. Since you didn't see, I will go back. So this is what is these are the books. So you can see this is all Srimad Bhagavatam. And these are the various books. These are small books you all should start reading. Like Krishna is all the pastimes of Krishna. 90 stories it has. And you can see all books. Kunti's prayers, Isha Upanishad, Nectar of Instruction, Isha Upanishad, and this book next portion we are going to cover in your level 3. Okay, now you can just see Bhakti, all these small books you can really read. Raja Vidya, the King of Knowledge, is basically a version of your 9th chapter of Bhagavad-Gita. These books are available for free. Please make use of it and read. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, ma'am. One, two questions more remaining. So the next question is, you mentioned verse 36 and you had shown us the 6 bad things of 6 sins which can be committed and the punishment for which can be death.
Yes.
So what is the source of those 6? Is the verse mentioning those 6 things, or where was
there in Bhagavad-Gita? Please read Bhagavad-Gita. This is mentioned in Bhagavad-Gita itself.
The one who gives poison can be given death sentence?
Yes, I want you all to. That's my only request. See, we are unlike 18-day chapter. Yes, the answer is yes. And the chapter we have is 18 days. You all never had time because it was continuous. Now you have 1 week time between chapters. I want you all to read the chapter and come. So please go and read the first chapter. I want you all to even read the chapter 2. Please read chapter 2 and come so that you'll be able to relate and you can, like how you're asking questions, you can interact more, Venkatesh.
Ma'am, just last one question. Okay.
Yes.
In 39th verse, we saw the Arjuna's fear, right? But the fear is truth. If is true in this Kali Yuga, we can see. And if we see one place, Duryodhana, has he committed any sin to the world, or it was only against the Pandavas? Because see, like Ravana and all, he didn't commit a sin for which the Lord himself had to punish him. He was not killed by the hands of the Lord. So
You're talking about Duryodhana or you're talking about Ravan?
uh, I'm relating this thing that he has not done such bad things to the world.
Who has
He
not
just
done such bad thing? You're talking about Duryodhana or Ravan?
Duryodhana.
Okay, I want the girls to answer here. Any
No, means he has done it to Pandavas, okay, not to the, in the sense that not to the kingdom people. Like Ravana was like killing every Brahmin, every people. He was not committing sins on that manner. He was doing it against Pandavas
no,
only.
Ravana
Ravana
also.
respected Brahmanas.
Ravana never committed sin. He never killed Brahmana. Ravana himself was a Brahmana.
Okay, I thought he used to commit against those who were devotees of Vishnu.
No. You're getting confused with Hiranyakashipu. You're right, actually. That's not Ravana. I think you're getting mixed with Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu used to be against any Vishnu devotee because he wanted to be, Vishnu had killed his brother, so he took personal grudge. That was also personal. Now, coming back to this story, now I want the girls to answer this question. I'm not going to answer. Are you all convinced with the way Duryodhana behaved with Draupadi? All the girls in the classroom, yes, no?
No.
Do you feel he needs to be punished, or you feel like what Venkatesh is telling? He's okay, he didn't do anything great, wrong.
No,
He
means I
has
am
to
saying,
be
ma'am, he
punished.
did bad to those who are his like Pandavas, their wife, okay, not to the world, not to the kingdom people, like that.
Okay, you have any idea as a king, you have to set an example. If he does this, tomorrow what will happen? It is a wrong example. So tomorrow every guy in the house will tell his servant, come sit before me. Yes or no? The kingdom has done it. You are my slave. You please come and stay with me. Come sit on my lap. Isn't that doing a wrong example? And he cannot punish them tomorrow if that guy comes and tells, you did it because you said slave can do that. I did. And what is that? Who's that person? That slave is none but my brother's wife. Every guy will start. It's my brother's wife and I want to do this. So let me just tell you a small example. So when the war was there, Balram put his foot down and told exactly what you told. He said, this is their family problem. You better keep quiet and sit down. Don't put your head in this. Okay. And Krishna has to explain. So Krishna, unlike us, doesn't go and argue. So what he did, the entire Duryodhan's the story, right? He made it a point that is enacted in the road. And Balram comes that side along with Krishna. And he's seeing two people doing the exactly that same thing, right? Telling that, Ara, you are my brother's wife. I have bought you. You better do exact same drama. Now he is like so confused and he immediately gets so angry and he takes a sword and Krishna is telling, why are you killing me? He says he can't do that. He says it's his personal matter. He says, how can you do that? It's my kingdom. You know, tomorrow he says yes. So if you don't fight the war and if you don't support the war, tomorrow where did he get this from? He says your Dwaraka is fine. It's happening in Dwaraka. But where is the influence coming from? Because we have been silent when this happened. So when Draupadi was insulted, there, it was, so tomorrow he will come and tell what's wrong, what I did. In kingdom, if a king can do it, why can't I do? And I am not going and misbehaving with some girl. I'm doing it because she's slave. This was enacted actually. And that is when, Balram accepted, yes, you should do. And then he says that since they are all family, I don't want you to involve in war because he knows very well Krishna involves in war. War is finished in one moment. And he says that you will not take a weapon. Then only the story, unveils. Otherwise, he says we will not even be involved. Forget about the physical involvement. You will stay out of the whole story only. So just to answer your question, only this particular story has been enacted by Krishna. So if Duryodhana does that, everybody will mirror the same. I hope I've answered the question, Nitish.
Yes, ma'am. 99% clear. Just a small doubt.
Sure.
But the fear of Arjuna, which you said in the verse 39, that all those fears are coming true in today's yuga. We can see it. The loss of family tradition and everything. It is happening. We can see in the temples also now. Now they are not maintaining it the way it is done. Like in South, it's maintained still, but in North, it is not.
South also half have gone down. You're talking about the temple itself is not maintained or the family is not maintained?
both now the brahmanas they don't worship the god in the way it should be done. Now the Nevedya is not done the way it should be. In the morning and evening it should be done. That those traditions are not being followed, right? It just happened the way Arjuna said.
What is your question?
The question is the fear of Arjuna has came true, right? That is what
It will come true. That is why, see, what is Arjuna? Arjuna is a representation of us. See, we are telling Arjuna as a different person, but Arjuna is none but all of us put together, all our doubts is what Arjuna is going to address. But just hold. We will come and explain more about Kali Yuga in the subsequent chapters. Now it's too early if I directly answer your questions. Hold for 5-6 chapters and we'll reveal all this will automatically start getting revealed. Yeah.
Ma'am, just one question. Is it means just let's take that it was like Sri Krishna never involved in this war, okay? Then would the things have been different than what it is today? Like because the family traditions and everything would have not been lost, right? It was lost because if you see some stories, like the woman didn't have like hires and all, like the way Arjuna said, those all things literally happened. Like you can't get moksha and all those.
So you have to wait for what Krishna is answering before we start guessing the answer. So wait until the next week, second chapter, because there, let's see Krishna. See, now it's one-sided, right? And all of you all we are all feeling, oh, Arjuna is correct. Now let's hear what Krishna has to say, right? So we have to be the judge by hearing both. Now we've only heard one side. So park this question and ask the same question next week after we finish 2 sessions. And while I'm telling this, next week we'll have 2 sessions because I said second chapter is long. What time suits you all? 7 o'clock, 7:30, 8. What time suits you all best?
Ma'am, 7 to 9.
7.
7. Okay, let me confirm whether 7 or 7:30, but we'll try and not keep it at 8. We'll keep it at either 7 or 7:30. I'll confirm to you all. And just see the WhatsApp messages and we will have it on Saturday surely and on Sunday, the coming week. That's fine?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes,
Sure.
ma'am.
And you all, if there's too much, since it's already late, I will leave the story. I'll tell the story next week because we'll have more time next week. Is that fine?
Okay, Mataji. Your
Okay,
incident
ma'am.
now. Everyone is
Sorry?
free at least. So it's Sunday, ma'am. Everyone is free. It's Ekadashi also.
Yes,
Ma'am, at least
Mataji.
tell us the importance of Ekadashi, at least today's day importance.
Ekadashi importance, why don't you all tell me?
So that we get time from the routine activities and focus on
Yeah, that is one purpose. But other than that,
Ma'am, speciality of Ashada Ekadashi, especially of this day.
yeah, tell.
It's question, Mataji.
Oh, it's a question. No, I want to hear answers. Every time I'm only answering. Now you all should find and tell me.
One gets free from all the sins and goes to Vaikuntha Loka.
Yeah, but that's a very easy answer. All Ekadasis, that's the same thing. What is special he's asking? One of you will read the story and
Mataji, I read on internet that
tell me then.
like I'm not sure if it's correct or not. I'd only read that it is a day when Sri Krishna took the roop of Vitthal. Is that the only thing or there is something different?
That is also one thing, but that's right. That's correct.
This day, Lord Vishnu goes to sleep, and it's the beginning of Chaturmasya.
Correct. That is one more thing. So one line I will talk about all Ekadasis, not just this. Ekadasi, okay, why it started is Ekadasi, we avoid all grains, right? This is important for you all to follow. So I'm just telling this. All grains means rice and all that. So scientifically, moon, right? The rays of the moon actually gets absorbed in the thing. That is why they brought this rule as well. But even otherwise, what was told, it's a very huge Bhagavatam story. So I can't tell in one line. But I can tell you only one thing, that it is said that the sins are sitting in these places, in grains. Already we are loaded with sins, no? So if we go and start eating all these grains and rice on this day, it will really accumulate. What are we towards? We are all trying to go to Goloka, reduce our sins. How can we do it? One simple way is fast. When I say fast, depending on the level, like for instance, I can't do a complete fast, so I was drinking milk. You all saw that too. So you all can do fruits, except rice and grains, everything is fine, right? So fruits you can take, vegetables you can take, milk you can take. So all that will come under your quota. Hare Krishna.
Ma'am, just
yeah, one second. Yeah, go ahead.
Today we talked about the Prakriti and the modes of nature, right? rajas, tamas, and all. Like tea and coffee is also prohibited in as it's counted as tamasic. But in ISKCON, Sattvic Bhojanalaya also we find tea and coffee available. Is tea
No.
and coffee Sattvic?
ISKCON does not have tea and coffee. We don't take.
Okay, in Belgaum it was available, I guess.
We'll have something called the, what do you call that? No, it will not be there in any ISKCON. We call it as what's called the, what do you call, masala tea or what's it? Herbal tea. So that will not be your tea powder. It will be like, for instance, if you go to any hotel also, they have what's called jasmine tea, all these teas, right? So which is basically hot water and jasmine. So those kind of teas or masala tea, which has ginger and all that. But not what you're thinking, not the tea powder. Because it
Okay, ma'am,
pastries, it depends on what is done. So pastry is not wrong. If you're having just butter and you can't have it on Ekadasi, and it's a very wrong topic. See, all are fasting and you're talking about a cake. No problem. It's okay. So what is it made of? It's made of maida, butter. What do you call maida? Maida is maida only in maida only. Okay, maida, butter.
Flour.
Sorry.
Flour.
Sorry.
Flour. FL.
Yeah, flour. So yeah, that's right. So basically, you'll have only flour and butter, right? Besides that, there's nothing in a cake. That's it. Or maybe a little bit of essence of pineapple or apple or whatever you have to add. So that's not wrong. Unless you overeat, that's a different issue. And sugar, of course.
Yes, Hare Krishna Mataji. Understood all doubts here.
Yeah, thank you so much. So now you all tell me, you want the story or don't want the story?
We want the story.
We want
Yes,
the
ma'am.
story.
We want the
Mataji.
story.
Okay. So tell me if you have already heard the story, but I'm assuming you may not have. So I'm just taking the story of which I tell in the level 1. So the first day, there's always a confusion whether Arjuna is the right person or not, right? So this is a visit after the war and Arjuna visits Dwaraka. So when Arjuna visits Dwaraka, after a very long time, obviously Krishna comes and receives him, which is right. And Krishna takes him to his guest palace. Now you'll be wondering, what is this guest palace? We all have guest room. Now, when we have guest room, won't Krishna have a guest palace for his guests? So he has this huge palace and he takes Arjuna. He sits and talks to him, and he just loses sense of time. Rukmini is very soft, but Satyabhama is the very violent, powerful wife of Krishna. She is waiting and she comes in search of Krishna. And she notices a very unusual thing. What has happened is they both have been chatting, right, face to face. And while they've been speaking, both have fallen asleep and in such an angle that Arjuna's leg is close to his face, right, somewhere here. It's not touching his face, but then it's like really close. See that Satyabhama is like very upset. Now it's not present generation, means we'll go catch hold and tell, hey, how can you do this? It was still, Dwarpa Yuga. So therefore, she went back and she was very upset. And Krishna came the next day and she said, how can you do that? So first of all, went and spent the whole day, that's fine. But then how can Arjuna, just after all Arjuna, right? Even I don't do that. I'm your wife. Okay. And Adagini, and more than that, I love you so much. Even I don't do, nobody does Rukmini and all. He says, no problem, do one thing. Tomorrow you go. I will stay here. She'll say, how can I go? To a male house, especially when he says, I am telling you, you go, I will be here. And he stays. Now she goes there. Now there is a question to you. She's outside and she still hears voice. Krishna says he will not go and Arjuna is there. She goes to the room of Arjuna. She's overhearing from outside and she's able to hear, the murmuring voice. Who's there in the room? Don't tell me Arjuna. Yes, Arjuna is there, but other than that.
Shri Krishna.
Always, we've all decided Shri Krishna is fraud. Any other question? But Krishna promised no, that he will not go. Once in a way. Subhadra is there, she will not feel any issue. But that Subhadra is there means there is no big issue. And second thing is, Subhadra is there means anyway, what is the thing? She would have got to know. Subhadra is there, he will not keep his wife as a secret. Subhadra is sister of Balram also.
Maybe it was Rukmini.
That's a lovely guess. No.
Tulsi?
No. So Satyabhama is
Arjuna only.
Arjuna is there. Arjuna is there. I told already Arjuna is there. There is no doubt on that. She goes inside and she continuously hears louder voice. She's searching like us only, under the bed, under the cupboard, everywhere, and she's not able to spot the person. And as she's coming closer to Arjuna, she's able to hear more. And she goes near Arjuna and his lip is closed. So it's not like he's not sleep talking or something. So she's very confused and she goes near the leg. She's able to hear Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And that time only she understands that nobody else is there in the room besides Arjuna, but his leg, that place which was close to Krishna, also every nerve, every vein, right, is chanting Krishna's name. Every nerve. So there is no difference between his head and his leg. That's a point which Krishna wanted to prove. He says that pure devotees doesn't matter. And Krishna is not a fool to tell this to Arjuna. Unless Arjuna is so exalted, Krishna would have not chosen Arjuna, right? And kept him in such a high position. So the whole story, and that is when Satyabhama understands, she comes back and tells that I thought I'm great, but now I understand how great Arjuna is. And she really apologizes to Krishna because she understands there is absolutely no difference between Krishna and Krishna's name and form. Likewise, there's no difference between Arjuna's leg and head because everything is so pure. So that is what they're talking about. Hare Krishna. Chapter 3 is a small chapter, right? I will tell you the love story of Arjuna and Subhadra. I know you all know the story, but I will tell you still.
Yes, Mother.
So is there any other question? Otherwise, we'll end the...
Ma'am, can I just ask one question or suggest a story for next?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am, there is a story of Kedarnath. We don't know which one is real. There are 3-4 stories.
There's a story of?
Kedarnath temple.
Kedarnath?
Temple.
Okay.
And in it, like, we don't know what the reason is. One of the reasons said is like Pandavas get Bhratru Dosh, means sin for killing their brothers. And that's why they go there for taking the blessings of Lord Shiva so that they can get moksha. And another story is like the last day when the children get killed, they hold weapon against Shiva and fire weapons on him, and that's why they get sin. I don't know which story is real. These 2 stories are there on divine tales. Like which one is real, they themselves don't know.
Even I don't know, because this is a story which is not there in Srimad Bhagavatam, but we will anyway address the sin next week. Your question gets solved. But the story I won't be able to tell you. But I can...
Yes, ma'am. Just one question, you take it for the next session is like Sri Krishna tells Arjuna that he will take him away. He will give him moksha anyway by just surrendering to him. But at the end, like many stories suggest that he asked him to go to Shiva. Only after that he can get moksha. Like how much truth is in it? Like, and
no. See, there are a lot of folk tales. There are a lot of folk tales. You should just ignore them. See, the actual story, if you really want to hear, that's why I said please read Srimad Bhagavatam. You will get the complete story and of whatever you're asking. You'll know, not story, you'll know the exact history of what has happened. Purana means, what does Purana mean in Hindi? Purana means old, right? But whatever you are telling is modified mythological stories. So no, such things never happened. There was only one time there was a fight and Shiva was so pleased with Arjuna. And that is why he gave this Pashupata. Thank you so much. Pashupata.
Mataji, he used a Pashupata against whom? Against whom did he use it?
No, it is not against whom. It's about Shiva being pleased with Arjuna. That's
Arjuna used it against which? Against whom, like that?
I don't know whom he used, but primarily he was using Gandhiva bow. So Gandhiva bow is a very important thing, which I will tell you the significance in the end of the 2nd chapter. What will happen in Bhagavad-Gita when I'm telling is some topics, if we start, it will totally digress and we will go off track. So we will not go off track. We have to maintain the main track, right? So certain things which are important, like, what things are there, we'll cover. But things which are like, I'm not telling this is important or not important, these which are not given in detail in the books, we will not discuss. We will skip. Like, sin, whether he incurred or not, 2nd chapter we will get to know. So wait till the 2nd chapter. I will answer your question. Then you yourself will tell me which of the 2 stories is right and whether even one story of that is right. Is that fine? So wait for one more.
Ma'am, just one thing. For Sunday, keep the story of this Chardham. All the Chardham places, you tell us the story.
Okay. But that one I thought you are going to tell.
Yeah,
so Sunday, not Sunday, Saturday you will tell the story. Sunday I will tell the story. Okay. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Because Chardham also everyone like has given different story. We don't know which one like is real, so that's why.
So that's what I'm saying. You're talking about the Ekadasi, right?
Yeah, Ekadashi, one
Pavana.
thing. The second is story of Chardham means Rameshwar, the Rath Yatra of Orissa, Puri, Dwarka, and this Badrinath and Kedarnath.
Okay.
Chardham story.
Okay. So that you figure out and you tell me, then I will tell whether I know that story or I have to correct the story. That's fine.
Okay.
And I'll tell you the stories which I know. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So one second prayer. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha ananta koti vaishnavakiche Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. So next Saturday, let's all meet at 7:30, right? Because you all can have your dinner and come. If we start at 7, if it goes till 9:30, it will be too late. So 7:30 we will meet. If there is any change, I will message you in the group. Hare Krishna, all of you, and thank you so much for joining. And we will catch up again the coming week.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mohandas Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.